When you look into a mirror, you see yourself. But what if, one day, the reflection didn't show your face, but a path? A path you've always been afraid to take. A path with no guarantees, but a pull you can't ignore. A path where you don't play a role. You become yourself. You won't walk this path by accident. You won't find it in a to-do list. It appears only when you stop pretending to be busy and finally start living. The world tells you to be productive. But in chasing productivity, you lose something deeper: involvement. You don't feel alive. You just complete tasks, check boxes, and feel empty inside. But there's another state, a state where time disappears, where you don't force yourself, you dive in. The action becomes an extension of you. You're not working, you're merging. That's what we call flow. Not inspiration, not motivation, but disciplined, focused immersion in the task. The philosophy of flow: don't do, be. The Stoics said, happiness lies in virtuous action focused only on what's in your control. Zen masters taught, mastery isn't the result, it's presence. In flow, the ego dissolves. There's no fear of judgment, no inner monologue, only the path and the step you're taking right now. You become an arrow in flight. You no longer ask why, you just go. What science says. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, the psychologist who coined the term flow, spent decades researching it. He found that people feel happiest not when resting, but when deeply focused and challenged. In flow, the brain activates systems tied to motivation, focus, and creativity. Dopamine, norepinephrine, and anandamide flood the system, creating a cocktail of clarity, drive, and joy. Studies show productivity increases up to 5 times. Learning and retention improve. Inner critic is silenced. Time and pain perception fade. You literally become a different version of yourself. One that's not distracted, not struggling, but doing. But flow doesn't come to the lazy. Flow is not a gift. It's a consequence, a result of choosing depth. 3 conditions must be met. The task must stretch your skill just enough, not too easy, not too hard. That edge is where growth happens. You need a clear goal and immediate feedback. You must see progress, whether in a project, your body, or your mind. You must eliminate everything that pulls you away: noise, notifications, mental clutter. Flow demands your respect. You think you lack motivation? You don't. You lack silence and honesty with yourself. You're not lazy, you're trapped in distraction. Because distraction feels safe. Surface-level work feels familiar. Thinking about 10 things at once is easier than focusing on one. But when you focus, when you go all in, when you stop holding back, that's when life finally begins. Part 2. The flow principle. You can train flow. It's not magic. It's a muscle. And when you build it, you gain more than results. You gain the state that makes life worth living. How to enter flow. A framework for real work. Here's a framework that works every time. 1. Choose something that matters to you, not because it's trendy, because it feels right. Flow cannot exist without emotional connection. If it means nothing to you, you won't go deep. 2. Eliminate everything unnecessary. Phone out of the room. Browser closed. Clock ignored. Flow is built on respect for your attention, and respect requires boundaries. 3. Focus entirely on the process. Forget the outcome. Forget who's watching. Forget tomorrow. In flow, you don't build the future, you live it. 4. Work in blocks, 60 to 90 minutes. Studies show that around the 20-minute mark, the brain synchronizes into optimal neural patterns. Focus sharpens, impulses fade, inner noise quiets. but only if you get there without interruption. 5. End with reflection and repetition. Flow is not just a state, it's memory. The more often you go deep, the faster your brain returns. In 2 to 3 weeks, entering flow becomes automatic. Why this isn't just productivity, it's purpose. Most people think happiness comes from comfort, rest, or ease. But studies in psychology prove otherwise. Happiness comes from growth, from depth, from knowing you're aligned with what you're meant to do. Flow isn't about pleasure, it's about becoming one with what's necessary. It's like love. You don't wait for it, you enter it, you commit, you vanish, and from that vanishing, you become real. And if you don't enter flow, what then? You fragment, you live in pieces. 15 seconds here, 30 seconds there, constant background noise, exhausted from doing nothing meaningful. You live in other people's lives and never enter your own. There is no greatness without depth. Everyone who did something remarkable lived in flow. Archimedes leapt from the bath, shouting, "Eureka!" Mozart composed symphonies in a single sitting. Kobe Bryant said, "I'm not competing with others. I'm competing with my fatigue." They all knew, you cannot be great if you're distracted. Greatness is focus. Greatness is depth. Greatness is discipline. Greatness is turning love for the craft into a ritual. Flow is a spiritual discipline. It's not about being efficient. It's about being real. It's about gathering your scattered self into one beam of attention, choosing one thing and becoming everything in it. You think you need the meaning of life? It's not in a book. It's in your action. In the thing you do so deeply, you forget to ask why. Because in that moment, you are the answer. Final words, raw and unfiltered. So hear this. You can live your whole life jumping from thought to thought, and you'll die tired, with half-finished projects, a million excuses, and the feeling that something slipped away, but you'll never quite name what it was. Or you can start going deep. Now stop pretending you need inspiration. Build a system where it shows up on schedule. Pick one path, one craft, and vanish into it while the world buzzes around you. But you move forward, sharply, deeply, without pause. Don't seek ease, seek immersion. Don't beg for willpower, build ritual. Don't wait for happiness. Work in a way that brings it to you, in motion. You don't need to fight laziness. You need to disappear into the work.